Are you serious? You actually work for my dad's company? What are the odds? I haven't seen you since you graduated high school a couple of years ahead of me, right? This is so funny. I mean, of all people, it's the famous stinky Chloe. Are you still living with your mom in that old shack with nothing to eat? How the hell did you get a job here in the first place? Hi, Kristen. Long time no speak. What a coincidence that we cross paths again. I just found out recently that you're the daughter of Director Morgan, too. Such a small world, isn't it? Yeah, really? I heard rumors that you had to beg your father to work here because you kept getting fired for causing lots of trouble. So you were having difficulty finding a job, right? Well, listen to you. I guess you've learned to talk back a bit. But yeah, I won't deny it. I'm not ashamed. And for the record, none of it was my fault. Everyone I worked for was a moron. They didn't know how to use my skills and talents. So I did what I had to do to keep my reputation, which was find myself a better spot here, and it worked. Anyway, you should keep in mind that my position in this company is much senior than yours. You do as I say. Do you understand? Senior? Are you sure about what you just said? Of course I am. Just because we go back since high school doesn't mean you get to slack off around me. I'm going to treat you just the same as other workers in this office. Kristen, you literally joined the company today. You are a new face in this office, and just because you're the director's daughter, it does not put you in a better position. And just to be clear, you have zero authority. That is something you earn as you become a team member in this company. Please keep that in mind. Excuse me? Who the hell do you think you are? I mean, look at yourself. An old woman in a stained jumpsuit getting dirt up every day for what, like 10 years? How sad that you try to fulfill yourself by working in a big company, but you will never be better than me. You are going to stay exactly where you are no matter how long you work here. I'm sorry, are you calling me an old woman? I'm only 2 years older than you. Ew, that is so old. Whatever, but what is this about me being a part-timer? I think you're misunderstanding, Kristen. Still trying to act big? Stop pretending to be someone you're not, Chloe. You're making yourself look even more miserable. A part-timer will never be an official member of this company. You are no one. I beg your pardon? Kristen, you seriously don't know anything about my role, do you? You should have done a bit more research before you joined today. You're embarrassing yourself. A role? You mean the same role you've been keeping since high school as a part-timer at the factory? Oh, how pathetic, Chloe, really. I can't believe you stayed for over a decade doing the same thing. I mean, it's hilarious, too. I am laughing so hard right now, I can barely breathe. And you even think that you get to be bossy for working in a factory for 10 years? How sad. Interesting. I guess you stopped thinking for yourself when you were in high school. How unfortunate for you. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I'll let you do your own homework to find out what my role is here. I bet you'll understand exactly what I mean very soon. What the hell? If you have something to tell me, then just say it. You see, once you join the professional world, no one hands answers for free. Do your part and get some research done. You're a grown adult now. Think of it as a part of your training. Training? That's not necessary for me. Clearly you are the one who doesn't understand anything. Why would I have to go through any of that? My father is the director here. I have an express ticket to the top. You are out of your mind, woman. Kristen, I heard that you skipped your training session and were smoking on the balcony this morning. Let me be clear that if you skip training without notice or legitimate reasons, it will have a severe impact on your quarterly assessment. Also, smoking is only allowed outside of the building doors by law. There will be penalties for breaking it. Are you actually telling me what to do? Yes, I am. And this is your first warning. You're lucky that I'm even giving you a chance. You will follow the company rules or you will be asked to leave. I beg your pardon. Have you forgotten who my father is? I will not tolerate you talking to me like that. The reason why I'm even messaging you is because the member in charge of the training contacted me. He said that you won't listen to anything anyone says. So as a final notice, I'm letting you know that this is your last chance to participate as a trainee if you would like to stay in this company. Chloe, seriously, I think you're the one who needs a lesson. You might be older than me, but that means absolutely nothing here. Don't you get that we're not in high school anymore? Just because you finished school earlier than me doesn't put you in the position to tell me what to do, especially when I have privileges to do whatever I please. Of course, I know that we're not in high school anymore. That is why I'm messaging you now. Jesus, all of you are so stupid. You think a little scolding from an older woman is going to make me take stupid training sessions? I am the director's daughter, for crying out loud. Why aren't any of you listening to me? I'm in a much higher position than all of you. Okay, I see that you still haven't found out what my role in this company is. You must really like being reminded of who you are, huh? A tired old part-timer is what you are. You're a pathetic, useless hag clinging onto a McJob because you can't find a decent job anywhere else. Even if that were true, can you say that you are any better? At least I've been working, unlike you. Isn't this your first full-time job because you couldn't find anyone to hire you? You've been doing nothing but play since you finished school, right? You've only had small part-time jobs, from all of which you were fired. No wonder you don't know how to act in an organization. And none of that matters now. I've been hired as a proper employee because I'm just that good. I have the potential, unlike you. So stop acting like you know everything. I appreciate your service, Miss Part-Timer, but it's time to listen to a real employee, capiche? No, but fine. If you'd like to go down that road, then so be it. If I recall correctly, your father is coming back from his business trip on Monday, I believe. So what? Are you going to try and talk to my father now? Yes, I guess I'll have to. If you're blind enough to believe that you are almighty thanks to your daddy, then come see me with him on Monday. We can try to sort things out together. What? Oh, I know. I should just tell him that you're trying to act so bossy and get you fired. Why didn't I think of that sooner? Too bad, Chloe. Your time's up after all these years of working here. This is actually a great opportunity to let everyone know that I can get anyone fired in a heartbeat if they don't listen to me. Why don't you go and start packing to leave? Daddy, when are you coming home? I need you to do a favor for me.
I'll be coming home on Monday, darling. What is it? Is everything all right?
There's this woman at work. She's just a part-timer, but she treats me like crap. She is so horrible to me.
What? Horrible? How so?
She does things on purpose just to annoy me. She is so mean and has absolutely no respect to newcomers. Like, she looks down on me.
Kristen, I just want to be clear. You're not causing any trouble at work, are you? Because God knows how many times I've had to help you get out of serious troubles, all of which you and your selfishness were the root cause.
Of course not. Come on, give me some credit here, Dad. I understand my position very well. Anyway, this super mean woman wants me to go and see her to sort things out.
Wow, she must have some serious problem with you.
She does, and I don't even know why. And she actually asked that you come along. I mean, how dare she asks you, of all people, right?
She wants to see me too?
I'm scared that she's going to say or do something super mean to me. Daddy, will you please come with me? You should check out with your own eyes how horrible she is and just fire her on the spot.
That is not possible. I don't have the kind of authority to let someone go on the spot.
You wouldn't let some nasty part-timer bully your daughter, though, would you? Please, Daddy, you have to help me.
Well, I will have to see what exactly is going on, but I guess this is a good opportunity to see how you're fitting into the company. Okay then, I'll tag along to see her with you, but I'm only going as an observer. I'm not going to intervene unless I find it necessary. And if what you were saying about her is true, perhaps I will seek the help of Human Resources or the CEO.
Yes, thank you, thank you. You will see that what I'm saying is true. Oh, I can't wait until she gets what she deserves.
Hey, I'm not making any promises. If I think this is something you should handle on your own, then I'm not taking any actions.
I'm telling you, Daddy, you will. She is so horrible.
Which department does she work for, by the way?
She's in the factory. She works with the machines on the manufacturing line or something.
The machines in the factory? Wait a second, are you sure she's a part-timer? Only management-level employees who've had extensive training are allowed to touch the machines in the factory.
I don't know, maybe she's doing something she's not supposed to do. I can easily imagine her cheating. Yeah, that must be it. The only reason why she's been able to keep her job for decades. Anyway, Dad, you'll see what I mean on Monday. I'll stop by your office and we can go to her together. Talk to you later. Hey, listen up, woman. I told my father about you. Okay, and? Let's see if you can keep that attitude of yours on Monday. I am so going to finish your time here at this company. You will be seeing my father just as you wished. And he is so going to fire you after he sees how rude you are to me. It's over. Oh, and I just can't wait to tell you to get out. Very interesting, Kristen. It's so funny that you think I'm going to oblige to that. You won't have any other choice but to, you loser. You are so dumb. You still don't understand the position you're in. Let me tell you though, you are done. You will never get anywhere in life. How so? I mean, you are 30 for crying out loud. You're so old and yet you can't even keep a part-time job. How the hell do you think that's going to look on your resume? No one's going to want you. You won't be able to find a decent job. You'll be the biggest loser ever. Oh, this is going to be so funny. I should get everything recorded so I can show everyone from high school.
Hey, Kristen, I just arrived at the office from the airport. Where do you need me?
Daddy, welcome back. I've been dying to hear from you. Is your meeting with the woman you're talking about still happening? Yes, of course. Can you meet me by the entrance of Factory A? I'll head down now.
Okay, but give me a few minutes. I want to let the CEO know I'm back. Well, I guess it can wait. She seems out of her office now anyway. All right, I'll meet you in a few minutes.
I can't believe my dad was on his knees. I've never seen him like that, ever. Your poor father was petrified when he realized you were talking about me this whole time. I've never seen someone beg for forgiveness like that either. I feel bad he had to go through that, especially after working so hard to get you a spot in the company. It wasn't my intention to make him apologize for you. I am still in disbelief. What the hell happened? What did you do to become the CEO of the company? You were just a part-timer. It doesn't make any sense. You really didn't do any research before coming to work, did you? I mean, a student would know that they need to get as much information as possible before starting a new job. It's really sad that you had no interest of finding out anything about work. If you had, you would have found out who I was in a few minutes. But how, though? How the hell did you become the CEO? It's only been 10 years or so since you started working at the company. The previous CEO, meaning the owner of the company, is my grandfather on my mother's side. Huh? To give you an overview, I had always been interested in my grandfather's work, so I went to college to learn in the same field. I wanted to get hands-on experience and get to know the people as soon as possible. So I started working as a part-timer at the factory while I was still in school. And after graduating, I became a proper employee. It wasn't always easy being a young leader, but I worked my ass off the past 10 years to get to where I am. And I'm proud to say it wasn't just my blood that got me here. I had the support and approval of my employees when I became CEO last year. This is something that you could have learned beforehand if you had done some research. Too bad you had to embarrass yourself in front of your father. Wait a minute, that still doesn't make sense. What doesn't? You were poor back then. You never had a father and you lived in an old shack with your mom. Everyone called you Smelly Chloe because you were always wearing the same clothes. You couldn't have been rich. It's true that my mom and I lived a pretty modest lifestyle, but no, we were never poor. You and your friends just made that up in your head. Have you ever visited my house? No. Did I actually smell bad? Also no. You just had a very rich imagination that you made yourself believe all that. No way. Well, if you are the CEO, then why do you still handle the machines in the factory? You should be in the office building, in your own room with leather couches and everything. What the hell are you doing in the factory wearing a jumpsuit? Oh, I see what you mean. Well, it's true that I work in the office a lot more than I used to, but there were some irregularities around the workplace that I had to pitch in. So I was doing what was required of me, that's all. What kind of a situation makes it necessary for the CEO to wear a jumpsuit and work the machines in a factory? That is nonsense. No, it's not. We work as a team. It simply happens that the employee who usually is in charge of the machines fell ill and was admitted to the hospital. Someone else, of course, pitched in to help at first, but the person who pitched in had been scheduled to fly to California to receive training for the new machines being installed next month. That's also super important, so I had to keep his schedule for the training, which meant that we were short of staff who can handle the machines, and there was no way we were going to stop production. So, having had a lot of experience with them, I just stepped in to help. Just like that? You are the CEO, but can change into a jumpsuit and get dirty? Why the hell not? I do not have any problem getting a little dirty, and the job is so fundamental to our business that it must be prioritized. My other work could be replaced, but not this one. That's why I had your father go on that business trip last week to attend the conference on my behalf. Oh. Well, yeah, I might have heard him mention that he was taking someone else's place. So, yeah, now you have the full story. Happy now? Anyway, if you don't have any other questions, I must go. After all, I'm a busy woman with a lot on my plate.
Chloe, forgive me for messaging you so late. Are you busy right now?
Good evening, Daniel.
No, nothing is all right. I'm so horrified about what my daughter has done. I'm so sorry. I've never been so embarrassed in my entire life.
It's all right, Daniel. She's a grown woman. I don't blame you for her actions. I'm sorry, too, that you had to go through that. I didn't mean to embarrass you in front of others. Please, forgive me.
Oh, God, no, please, you don't need to apologize for anything. As much as I appreciate what you just said, this is my fault. I should have raised her more strictly. She'll no longer bother you, though, I promise. I've already spoken to HR and asked that she be officially removed from the company. She does not belong in our company.
But I thought you wanted her to work so that she finally straightens herself up.
I did. I let my ex-wife spoil her so much that Kristen ended up being uncontrollably selfish. And of course it's my fault that I was so busy with my career that I never intervened in how she was raising Kristen. That's why I wanted to get it right this time, once and for all. But I've failed again. Me letting her in the company only gave her the wrong idea that she had some sort of power. In fact, it simply boosted her selfishness and made this situation worse. I'm so sorry that I didn't think better. You wouldn't have had to go through my daughter if I never took my eyes off of her in the first place.
I accept your apology, Daniel. Thank you. You don't need to beat yourself up so much for what happened. That said, I think it is true that she got the wrong idea. It's a bit difficult to understand how she thinks the way she does. In all honesty, she was kind of the same in high school, too.
I know, and I should have done something back then, too. Anyway, I don't want her causing any more trouble, not with you, or the company, or me. I'm going to admit her somewhere so she can be treated. She has some kind of personality disorder and it needs to be controlled. I'm hoping a real program would help her get better. I've already called several places that offer professional help.
Oh, that might not be a bad idea. Professional help would be the best for her in the end. Although, I bet she's not going to like it.
No, she's gonna hate me for putting her in program, but her feelings toward me won't matter. I need to do this for her, or else she's going to end up in bigger trouble someday.
I agree. Well, I really hope she'll overcome her troubles soon.
Thank you for your kind words, Chloe.
Chloe, you have to help me. My dad is getting me locked up in some madhouse or something. Please tell him to stop. Let me apologize to you formally. I will do whatever you want me to do. I admit that you are the greatest CEO and everything. Hey, I'll even take that training you wanted me to. Please, Chloe, help. Don't fire me. I don't want to get locked up with a bunch of psychos. Not that I was ever going to help her, but I only saw the missed calls and messages when I finished work, after she was taken away. It looks like her father hired a security company to escort her to the institution that she'll be staying at until she finished the proper treatment. When she was being taken from her home, she begged and cried, but her father never listened to a word she said. And before she knew it, she had arrived at the institution that ran a program aimed for people who were harmful to others. Unfortunately for her, it was far from one of those luxury facilities. In the program, which she's still in, she has to earn points to do what she wants. For example, clean the toilet to get her smartphone back. For a completely spoiled, selfish person like Kristen, it must be the worst nightmare. I can only imagine it would be a long road for her, but I hope she can one day truly understand, for her father's sake, what it means to be selfless and kind.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Blake. It's been ages since we last spoke. It's me, Dylan.
Dylan? No kidding. Long time no see. It must have been, a year since we graduated college now?
Right. Sorry I haven't been in touch in so long.
Ugh, don't be silly. I'm just as much to blame.
Anyway, there was something I wanted to discuss with you. Is now a good time? I can wait till later if you're busy.
It's cool, don't worry about it. I was only sad daydreaming on the train anyway. What's wrong? You most certainly are. She's my second cousin. We grew up in the same neighborhood, so we played together all the time when we were kids. If we weren't over at each other's houses, we'd be hanging out at the park. She was more like a best friend or little sister than a second cousin. Anyway, what about her? Is everything okay? Did you fall out with her or something?
Yeah, I think I'd prefer it if we did just fall out. At least I'd understand what was going on then.
Huh? What does that mean? Oh, this seems even more serious than I thought. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. I heard you guys landed jobs at the same company lately.
That's right. That's when she changed. It's like she's a completely different person now.
Huh?
She seems to have entered relationships with several of the guys at the company.
Say what now? Chloe? That Chloe? Would never hurt a fly, never told a lie, kind, caring, conscientious, the very image of diligence, honesty, and hard work? That Chloe is now doing that with all the guys at your new workplace?
Yes, some of the guys are even married with kids.
Oh my god! What on earth could have happened to be causing her to act this way?
Right? I don't have a clue either. No matter how much I think about it, I draw nothing but blanks. She's been super blunt and cold towards me ever since the day I went over to talk to her at the company welcome party. After that, I found out she was having an affair with a guy called Sean, her department manager, a married man with kids. When I called her out on it, she said she hated me. Then I found out she wasn't just getting it on with him, but also the finance manager, the HR manager, a business analyst, 3 accountants, 2 of my colleagues, the front desk clerk, and the janitor. Things are getting so out of hand that rumors are starting to spread in the office. People don't even do their jobs properly anymore because of all the gossip.
What the? I don't even... No, wait a sec. That's it. That has to be it. Listen, this is probably gonna sound crazy, but there's a chance that it's not Chloe who's doing all these things at your workplace.
Huh?
Did you know that she has a twin sister?
Huh? Oh yeah. I do remember hearing something about that when we first met, actually. I got the impression they were on bad terms, though. She seemed uncomfortable talking about it. So while I was curious, I decided to leave it alone. I haven't heard anything since then.
I see. I guess it wouldn't be that strange if she didn't feel comfortable discussing it. With a sister like that, who could blame her?
Huh? Blake, wait a sec. Before I say it, I want to make it clear that I think this sounds absolutely insane. But are you saying you think Chloe might have been replaced by her twin sister? And that she's the one sleeping her way around my entire workplace?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Based on everything you just told me, that could only be the behavior of one person, her twin sister Bella.
Wow, it does sound crazy. But no crazier than the idea that Chloe would act like this. Is her sister really like that?
Yep. That girl, she's so good at getting her way when it comes to men, it's actually scary. I don't mean it in a good way, but she's a genius at what she does. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say she got through every exam in college and even avoided being held back a year by using her troublesome talents as a weapon to seduce anyone and everyone in her way. My gut tells me she's doing the exact same thing at your company right now. As to how it happened, I have a hunch. The company you and Chloe landed jobs at, they're highly prestigious and have a solid reputation for paying their employees very generously, right? My hunch is that Bella had her sights set on that salary and the future resume credentials that would come with working for such a major company. Again, this might sound crazy, but you know it wasn't if you knew Bella. I think she probably convinced or bullied Chloe into letting her take the job in her place. It's the only explanation I can think of. This is textbook Bella. It just reeks of the exact same stench of the shenanigans she pulled in college. I don't think that's all there is to it, though. I bet their parents were in on it, too.
Wow, seriously though, does this kind of thing actually happen in the real world? Switching one twin sister for the other? This is nuts! I feel like I'm reading the plot of some kind of novel or manga.
It's a possibility, unfortunately. Their parents have always spoiled Bella rotten while treating Chloe like a black sheep of the family. To be honest, I'm almost not even surprised that she turned out as rotten as she did given the circumstances.
Wow, I had no idea. Was Chloe really raised in that kind of household? She must have been through so much that I never knew.
Yeah, she really is. Did you hear the story about her grandpa covering the bulk of her college fund?
No, this is the first I've heard of it.
Her parents refused to pay to send her to college. Chloe always said she was desperate to get out of there, but her parents even confiscated the wages from her part-time job to give to Bella. With no way to support herself, she was trapped.
Wow, really? They even stole her money?
Something tells me she never told you any of this.
No, never. Knowing her, she probably kept it all bottled up because she didn't want me to worry. I can't say I would have been any use to her even if she told me. But I at least wish she would have tried. I should have noticed. I should have known something was wrong. I feel like I've completely failed her. My God, what have I done?
Dylan, stop. Beating yourself up isn't going to solve anything. Rather than that, we have to help her. She needs us. Thinking about this logically, if Bella's already going to the lengths of impersonating Chloe at work, she must have taken her phone off her a while ago. If that's the case, we might be dealing with an emergency here.
You mean Chloe might be in danger?
There's a strong chance she is. Dylan, do you have a car?
Yeah, it's not very big though.
Don't worry, it'll do just fine. We have to move quickly, there's no time to waste. First of all, before taking any action, we have to prove our suspicions about everything we just discussed. We can't do what I'm thinking based on hunch alone. I'm going to use my position as their second cousin to get into their house. I need you to wait in your car outside my house. It's in the same neighborhood. Oh, and this part's important. Keep the engine running. Once I'm certain Bella's impersonating Chloe, I'm going to rescue her from her family by getting her out of there.
So, I went outside in my car and we hightailed it the hell out of there as soon as you come out with Chloe?
That's right. I'm glad we're thinking along the same lines. You know where my house is, right?
Yeah, it's written on a New Year's wishes card in the chest of drawers in my room. So I won't have any issue finding the place.
How long will it take you to get there?
I think I can be there in about 40 minutes.
Okay, it'll probably take me about the same. All right, I think that just about covers everything. See you outside my place in 40 minutes.
Roger that.
Hey Chloe, what the freaking hell do you think you're playing at, slave girl? You took back your phone after I confiscated it? You did, didn't you? You'll admit it straight away if you know what's good for you. Come home and give me it back and make it quick.
I'm never coming home.
What? You listen to me and you listen good. Your workplace belongs to me. I've got every man in that office wrapped around my little finger. I'm being kind enough to work your job in your place as a favor to you, and this is how you repay me? Did you even think this through? How am I supposed to reply to all my boyfriends if you have the phone? The whole plan is gonna fall apart because of your stupidity. Come home and give me back the phone now. If you don't want us to boot you out and be forced to live on the street, I suggest you do what I say. Know your place, girl.
There it is, we have the confession! I repeat, confession obtained!
Huh?
You're the one who needs to know your place, you goddamn psycho!
Huh? Psycho?
I think it's more than fair to call you a psycho. Considering what a freaking psycho you are! You messed with the wrong person this time.
Uh-huh. Who's this?
I'm speaking to you from Chloe's phone.
Who is it? Tell me.
Dylan.
Dylan? Wait a second, I know that name. No way, are you that weirdo loser boy colleague who wouldn't stop bugging me at the company welcome party at the office?
I'm more than just a colleague, I'm Chloe's boyfriend!
Her boyfriend? What the? Chloe has a boyfriend?
We've been dating since we met in college. For someone supposedly so good at what she does, you sure are sloppy. If you'd have taken a minute or two to look through our chat history, you would have realized how dumb and unrealistic your impersonation plot was.
How could she get a boyfriend? She's so dull.
She's a million times the woman you'll ever be. Your only talent is lying, scheming and manipulating your way into bed with as many men as possible.
What?
Be honest, the reason you nominated yourself as the office bicycle and ordered free rides to every guy in the building is because you had no idea how else to get by. Am I right or am I right? Unlike Chloe, who studied business for 4 years and graduated with high honors, you didn't have a clue how to actually contribute to the company you cheated your way into. Being way over your head into the only thing you know how. And open your legs to every guy who so much as looked at you.
Oh my god, what the?
You probably thought you could get by somehow or other by seducing enough of the workforce that you could divide up your workload and force it off onto them one by one. And amazingly, it actually seems like it worked for a while. But the jig is up! We know who you are, and you ain't gonna be getting away with this any longer!
Just hold on a second, what exactly do you plan on doing?
I think you know the answer to that. I'm gonna tell the company who you really are and what you've been doing.
What? No, you can't.
I most definitely can, just watch me! It should go without saying, but word will inevitably reach your innumerable boyfriends before long.
No. You just stop right here. Don't do this. Do you have any idea how hard I worked to get a job at this company? They're world famous and I'm making quadruple the money I made at any old jobs. Are you threatening to put a blemish on my spectacular resume?
It's not your resume, it's Chloe's. And it's not a threat, it's a promise. Not an ounce of the credit for letting that job lies with you. It's down to Chloe's hard work and Chloe's hard work alone that you even got to set foot in the place!
Stop!
Chloe's never coming home again. I'll be looking after her from now on.
Just wait. Surely we can talk this over like adults.
You shut your goddamn mouth. Don't you dare ever come near Chloe again!
Hey, Dylan.
Sup, Blake, good morning.
How's Chloe doing?
She seems pretty chilled out right now. She's eating her breakfast and reading a magazine.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. That's great.
She was real quiet and reserved at first, but she started gradually opening up once we got back to my place and she told me everything. She says she's been living under constant supervision by her parents and physically prevented from leaving the house under any circumstances for the last 2 weeks. She was basically a prisoner in her own home.
Yeah, I've heard a few things myself. Apparently, Bella confronted her on the morning of her first day at the new job and confiscated her things before she could leave the house. Everything from her phone, her bank cards, her purse, even her work clothes. Her twin sister stole her entire identity. Her family conspired against her to ensure she had no means of communicating with the outside world and no way of escaping. Ugh, when I think about how long this could have gone on for, or what might have happened if you hadn't reached out to me so I could put 2 and 2 together and realize what they were doing to her?
Yeah, the thought alone sends chills down my spine.
Things got seriously hectic after we rescued her.
Yeah, no kidding. I got in touch with Chloe's grandpa and told him everything as soon as we got back, and I made sure she was okay.
Right, and then, when word of what was going on spread to the rest of our family, an emergency task force comprised of every single relative within a 100-mile radius mobilized outside the house, aka Chloe's prison, first thing in the morning. Apparently, the whole squadron barged in the second they heard the door being unlocked. They've got Bella and her parents surrounded, and they're coming down on them with the rage of 1,000 suns as we speak. My sources inside the house tell me it's the grilling of a lifetime. And at this rate, seems they'll continue long into the night, maybe even tomorrow morning.
Wow.
Next, the plan is to separate Bella from her parents and have them live as far away from each other as possible. Finally, they're gonna hire a lawyer, have a restraining order issued so they can never go near Chloe again, and take them all to court to demand compensation for the emotional trauma they caused her. Things are shaping up pretty well. I think we can safely say our work here is done.
Whew, I'm so glad to hear it. Nice work. Blake, listen. Thank you.
Hey, that's my line. I couldn't have done this without you, Dylan. I'm so glad you're Chloe's boyfriend. You're perfect for her. Make sure you protect her, okay?
Of course! Like my life depends on it. Chloe lives with me in my apartment now. When I told her, I'm here for you now and forever, as she sat in blank amazement, she suddenly burst into tears. She gushed forth unendingly as if to symbolize the long-awaited release of the lifetime's worth of pent-up anguish that built up while she was in captivity. Her company are treating the whole affair as a matter of utmost importance. All involved parties are currently under questioning, and those found to be guilty of wrongdoing will be dealt with accordingly. Out of consideration for Chloe's fragile mental state, she's currently on paid leave. When she feels ready to return to work, the company have offered her the option to come back on full-time working from home basis. Honestly, they've been great ever since they found out what was going on. As for Bella, the company are currently in the process of taking her to court for obstruction of business and for the damage caused to their reputation as a result of her actions. The sum they're demanding is so high, I don't even remember the number. The wives of the married men she had affairs with are also demanding a hefty amount for themselves. So between the compensation demands of all disgruntled parties, Bella's future as an overworked debt slave is a near certainty. Being incapable of holding down a normal job, she's currently working at an adult bathhouse. I don't know about you, but I don't think she could be in a more appropriate place. In any case, she deserves everything she gets.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Alice, are you there? Where are you? Reply to me.
Oh, Stephanie. Long time no see.
Never mind a long time no see. What do you think you're doing turning down my wedding invitation? You mean you're not coming?
Huh?
I invited you to my lavish wedding because I felt bad for you being a pitiful reject with no friends. And you had the nerve to send it back with the not attending box ticked? What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm busy that day.
It's my wedding day, for heaven's sake. You should be dropping all your plans and rushing at the chance to give me and my fiancé your blessing. Isn't that what best friends are for?
Best friends? Who?
Me and you, obviously. Did you forget all about how close we were in college? There was you living out your days on campus in introverted solitude with a life less exciting than a pile of rocks. When I, the queen of all extroverts, unparalleled in beauty and popularity, was so kind to shine a beam of hope on your tragic existence and became your friend.
You mean you just wanted me to hang out with you to make yourself look better? That hardly qualifies us as best friends. If anything, it just makes you a selfish narcissist. Anyway, Taylor is my best friend.
Huh? Taylor? You mean that filthy peasant with no parents who's so poor she couldn't even afford to buy lunch? That Taylor?
I'd prefer if you didn't talk about my friend that way.
Isn't it the truth, though, lol? Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to business. I want to give you the maid of honor speech at my wedding.
What?
Plus, you can sing and play piano, right? I heard you were pretty good. I want you to perform for everyone after your speech.
No, I made it very clear when I returned the invitation that I won't be attending. My schedule's full up.
Well, you should make room in it to attend your best friend's wedding.
Besides, why would you send me the invitation with less than a month to go until the ceremony? Even if I wanted to go, it'd be impossible on the timescale.
Well, make it possible then.
No, it's impossible because I have important business on that day I absolutely cannot get out of.
What? You mean there's something more important than my wedding?
That's exactly what I mean.
Go on then, what is it?
My boss's wedding.
Seriously? You'd miss your best friend's wedding to go to some random guy from work's wedding instead?
He's my boss, not some rando. And actually, he's a great guy who's always been there for me. I think it makes perfect sense to prioritize him over you.
Are you saying I wasn't there for you back in college? You probably wouldn't have even made it through without me.
The only thing I remember are your weird attempts to one-up me and put me down in front of everyone.
No.
Anyway, I can't help but feel that the only reason you sent me an invitation is because everyone else declined you. So you sent me one in an attempt to bolster the number, so that people who do attend don't realize everyone actually hates you. Sound accurate?
It's not like that at all.
I hit the bullseye, didn't I? I mean, come on, really? Best friends? Don't make me laugh. I'm done with this conversation. Good luck with your wedding.
I'm sorry to contact you out of the blue like this. Am I right in thinking this is Alice's number?
Maybe it is, but who's this?
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Richard Bigglesworth. I'm your best friend Stephanie's fiancé. I apologize again for contacting you so suddenly, but I found your number on Steph's phone.
I see. So, what could Stephanie's fiancé possibly want with me?
I'll just come straight out with it. Why don't you attend our wedding?
Huh?
Surely you should be there to give your best friend your blessing on the most important day of her life. She broke down in tears. She invited you because she wanted her closest friend to be there on the happiest day of her life. It's a day that only comes around once, you know. But she said you suddenly returned the invite with not attending checked.
I see. Like I told Stephanie, I have an urgent engagement on that day, so I can't come.
Yes, and I'm telling you that the way you've gone about this is just wrong. You've been downright inconsiderate and disrespectful, I tell you. Despite the fact you returned the invitation agreeing to give a speech and piano performance a whole 3 months ago. You have the nerve to pull out now all of a sudden, with less than a month left until the wedding day.
What? The invitation only came last week.
Excuse me?
Plus, I don't know if it was because she didn't know my address, but it was sent to my parents' house of all places. I immediately sent it back, making my intention not to attend crystal clear. And then Stephanie messaged me 2 days ago. She demanded that I attend no matter what, seemingly having no concern whatsoever for the fact that I already have plans of my own. That was also the first I'd heard of the speech and piano performance. Obviously, I told her that it was impossible to.
Wait, what? None of this makes sense.
It's exactly like I said. I didn't even know she was getting married until the invitation showed up at my parents' place last week.
Say what now? To think you call yourself a best friend. That's abhorrent.
Listen, Richard, you don't seem like a bad guy, so I'm going to explain this to you nicely. But me and Stephanie haven't spoke since college. It's been over 7 years. 7 years without so much as a single message exchanged between us. I haven't seen from her, heard from her, or even about her in all that time. Can you really call us best friends?
What? None of this adds up.
What's more,
If I had to say one way or the other, far from being friends. I'd say we didn't actually get on that well at all.
Really? Forgive me for asking you this, but do you think there's any chance her sending you an invitation might have something to do with the fact so many people, particularly people she listed as close friends, are turning down the invites?
Are there really that many?
About 90% of the invites she sent were declined.
90%? Jeez. Does that mean, while being fully aware of the situation, you messaged me without harboring a single doubt as to why no one wants to associate with her?
You were listed number 1 as her closest friend, but she did say there was a chance you may have betrayed her.
Betrayed her? How?
Forgive me for dragging up the past here, Alice, but she told me the story of the time you and her were fighting over a certain boy in college. Eventually, that boy chose her over you, and they started dating. She explained how the two of you made peace a few days later, but she did say there was a hostile atmosphere for a little while because you were jealous. I did think that you holding a grudge against her for what happened back then made sense as a potential explanation for you not coming to the wedding.
If you want to hear my side of the story, it sounds like she's playing fast and loose with the facts of what actually happened to suit her ends and manipulate you.
I see. What exactly was Steph like during college?
I'd appreciate it if you went down that rabbit hole yourself. I hope you don't think I'm being rude, but I have no intention of talking at length about my personal affairs with someone I don't know.
I see. I understand. Sorry again for the inconvenience, and thank you for your time.
Alice, you scheming witch! What the hell did you say to him? What do you want? My fiancé broke off the engagement. You're behind this somehow. I know it! What did you do? I see. Well, I wouldn't exactly go as far as saying I did something. Why did he dump me then? Explain now! Your name was mentioned, Alice. I know you were involved. Don't think you're getting away with this. Listen, Steph. Richard's the one who contacted me. What? Why? He messaged me out of the blue and started giving me a hard time about not being able to attend the wedding. All I did was explain my reasons why. I also set him straight on the facts that me and you aren't best friends, or even regular friends, or acquaintances. And that, in fact, I've never liked you. After that, I politely requested he did his own research and leave me alone. What have you done? This is awful! Do you have any idea how much damage you've caused? You could have told a couple of white lies for me. What would have been the harm? Aren't we friends? No. Do you have any idea how many people you made cry in my immediate surroundings back then? What? As far as I know, and I suspect there are probably more, firstly, there's my best friend Taylor, my little sister, 2 of my classmates from college, plus 1 freshman and 1 senior, and finally me. That makes a grand total of 7. Every single one of us had our boyfriends stolen by you. When you were on a particularly rotten streak, you had 2 or 3 guys on the go simultaneously. Not only that, you strutted around campus with your head held high, boasting of your accomplishments to anyone who'd listen, and relentlessly mocking your victims. What was your favorite line again? Oh yeah. This is just how life is when you're as beautiful as me. The fact that you've just had your engagement broken off 7 years later suggests to me that you probably haven't changed your ways since becoming an adult and entering society. It's not my fault guys want me. If anything, it's their fault for not leaving me alone. Were you born completely devoid of reason? What? I remember how you used to strut around flirting with other guys even when you knew they have girlfriends. Or how you'd welcome the advances of other guys even when you already had a boyfriend or boyfriends. The worst part was, you actually seemed to take pleasure in wrecking other couples' relationships. You seem to be lacking the bare minimum of reason required to exist in human society, Stephanie.
Don't be so mean.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that you totally deserve to get dumped by your fiancé and have the engagement broken off on this occasion. At the very least, you should use this as an opportunity to reflect on your life up until now and ask yourself why it might be that people consistently seem to want nothing to do with you. Goodbye. Richard messaged me again a couple of days later, apologizing profusely for the hassle his ex-fiancée had caused me. Our messages made him suspect her, and as well as keeping a close eye on her day-to-day movements, he conducted a thorough background check. When he did, he stumbled on an intricate web of lies involving several affairs, some of which he's still in the process of exposing. As things stand, his investigations have unearthed a whopping 3 secret lovers. On top of breaking the engagement, he not only took Stephanie to court for compensation, but all 3 of her lovers too. Obviously, the compensation also included the cost of the now cancelled wedding ceremony and honeymoon. It turns out their own wedding was intended to be quite the extravagant affair, the total cost amounting to somewhere in the region of an unbelievable $70,000, including the damages owed for the 3 affairs. She now owes over $76,000, and not being partially well off financially, is now desperately trying to claw her way out of self-induced debt hell. I don't know whether it's because she's super poor now, but my best friend Taylor said she saw her disappearing into a crowd of people the other day, wearing ripped clothes that looked like they hadn't been washed in weeks, and clutching some half-eaten bread crust like her life depended on it.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.